Alright, so moving on, the actual beat that we're going to be doing is this. Right? Hey, what's up everybody? It's Dylan with E7 Music School, and today I'm going to be breaking down Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine. When I first started playing with my bands here locally, and just my friends in general, this was one of the songs that we had picked to start out jamming with, to try to get tighter with everybody. So, if you like this, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you do with your friends when you guys jam, and yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so just letting everybody know, there's a flam in the very beginning of the song. If you don't know what a flam is, it's that. It's where you hit two sticks together. One's higher than the other one. We have a lot of other videos on that one, so I'm not going to go super into depth on that. But we start with the flam, and then the rest of the song is going to start after that, right? In the beginning of the song, it might be hard for you to catch that in the timing of it. So when you're playing it, I wouldn't worry too much about getting the flam on point. I would use that flam as maybe like your cue in to start playing. So here's what I mean by that. I'm actually going to show you what the flam looks like anyways. So here we go. Just give me 1 second. So here's what that flam looks like. So you can see what I mean by it's kind of hard to time because it just comes out of nowhere. So if you want to play it like this, this is fine with me. So using the flam as the cue in. Right? So using that flam as your cue in instead of having to time it with the rest of the song and everything like that. Alright, so moving on, the actual beat that we're going to be doing is this. Right? So we're going to be doing 4 measure phrases of this beat, and it's going to change after the first measure. So what I mean by that is the first measure is played like I showed you. So we're going to do that bass, bass, snare, bass, and bass, snare, bass, and then the rest of them are going to change after that. We're going to have an additional bass. So breaking that first measure down a little bit more, it's bass, bass, and snare, bass, and bass, snare, bass, and bass, and snare, bass, and bass, snare, bass, and bass, and snare, bass, and bass, snare, bass, and. So I'm going to do that a couple more times slower for you guys, and I'm going to do it at tempo again. So here's slower. Bass, and snare, bass, and bass, snare, bass, and. So bass, and snare, bass, and bass, snare, bass, and. So when I do that bass, and, you can see how I have that bass independent from the rest of them. I'm using that arm pulling away for the second hit as my indicator for when that is going to happen. Right? So it's like down, up, and bass, and. Does that make sense? So doing that principle, you can do. And it works all the way through, even for that bass, snare, bass, and at the end. Bass, snare, bass, and see how my hand moves away from it? Doing that for the first measure. And then the second, third, and fourth, we're going to have an additional bass. So we're going to play it like normal. And then second measure, we're going to do bass, and bass, snare. Bass, and bass, snare in the beginning part of the beat. And then the rest of it is the same. So bass, and bass, snare, bass, and bass, bass, and bass, snare, bass, bass, and bass, snare, bass, and that's for measures 2, 3, and 4. And then if we're going to repeat that 4-measure phrase, so 5, 6, 7, 8 in this intro would be the same, if that makes sense. So the first 4 measures, 1, 2, 3, 4, are played like this, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 are the same. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and play that with music for you guys so you can see. Just starting at the beginning again, so here we go. 8. And then we have a pause for 4 measures. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. And right there we're going to get into the crash section. So let's go ahead and break that down. So I don't really count the crash section here. I go off of the guitar, so the guitar is doing wow wow bum bum wow wow bum 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 wow wow bum bum wow wow bum 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 bum. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. So that kind of feel we're gonna translate over to the drums. So we're gonna do those 2 crashes up here. I do that right left because I have 2. If you just have 1 crash, then I would do that right or either one, but I'm gonna use my 2. And then we're gonna do a flam tap. So it's a flam, and then you hit with the left hand. It's not so much of a tap because it's louder than what a tap would be, like a flam tap would be. You know what I mean? This is like... So just make sure you keep the volume in mind when you're playing that. So we have 1, 2, flam tap, or crash, crash, flam tap. And then we're going to go back to that 1, 2. So 1, 2, or crash, crash, flam, and crash, crash, flam tap, crash, crash. And then what I was talking about, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or that bump, 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 bump you hear from the guitar, we're going to do 6 on the snare. So let me go ahead and show you that really quick. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's going to change right there. So we would do it a total of 4 times. So in the 4th time that we do it, like where I stopped, we're going to add this fill. And this fill goes like this. So that fill is going to go and bass, flam, bass, and bass, flam, bass, and bass, flam, bass, and bass, flam, bass, and you can see how I'm leaving my hi-hat kind of heavy here. I'm not leaving it all the way open. I'm not leaving it all the way closed. I'm going to use heavy. That's just halfway in between there. So it might be different for your hi-hat pedal. Just use some foot control and figure out where that is for you. You'll know you're doing it right when the cymbals rattle against each other. Alright, sweet. So the rest of the song is going to be out on our website, e7musicschool.com. So if you want to go ahead and pick up the rest of this, go ahead and become a monthly member, and you can see all of the videos that we post. There's full song breakdowns, so it's not just the beginnings, it's the entire song. So I'm going to let you guys get out of here. Thank you once again. If you want to reach out, my email is info@e7musicschool.com. So you can email us there, and either me or Jeremy will respond to you. So yeah, I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Alright, peace out. Rock on.